All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development Program, and in particular the AWD1100 C# Programming Fundamentals class, I'm doing a series of video presentations on the textbook that will be used for that class. That is Murox C# 2015. All right, the textbook, as we've already seen, has got 26 chapters, and I'm finishing up, hopefully in this lecture, Chapter 2, How to Design a Windows Form Application. So when we left last time, this is what we have. And I mentioned there's kind of a four-step process, and we've done the first three steps. We created our form elements. That was drawing the stuff on the form. We renamed our controls, and you saw that instead of label 1, we changed this to label student. Or I'm sorry, that should say subtotal, not student. That's interesting. So that should say subtotal. All right. And we changed the name of this from button 1 to button calculate, etc. So we did that stuff. Then we changed the actual code on the controls. This said label 1, now says subtotal. This said label 2, now says discount percent. This said button 1, now says calculate. This said button 2, now says exit, etc. So we're almost ready to write the code. But before we do, we're jumping back and we're going to take a look at what's in here. The first thing they tell you is the name property. You've already seen this, but the name property is always up near the top. And the name property, in this case, it's label subtotal. The name property is the way you refer to the control in code. It's its name. Its official name. The name on my birth certificate is Jeffrey Paul Scott. You could kind of say that that's my official name, whereas this is the official name. Remember, subtotal is not the name. Subtotal colon is just the text that's in this label. The actual name is label subtotal. Again, just kind of a little thing just so you see this, and it's not that important now. But where it says label subtotal here, if I click this down arrow, it shows me the name of all my controls. So you can see again, I've got like the name of my form, 4 labels, 4 text boxes, and 2 buttons. I can click on any one of these then and jump right to it if I want to do that. All right. The text is, again, what's displayed on the form or control. You've seen that already. There's other properties for forms, and these are some of them. Let's look at just one of those, and that being the start position. When I actually want to run this program, I'm going to, again, click this green button. Notice that when I run it, it's going to run the program. It's going to look a little funny. First time you probably see it, but it's no biggie. And there it is. Well, I don't like it there. I want it smack dab in the middle of my screen. So I'm going to click on the form, not on the control, but on the form itself. And I'm going to go down and find where it says start position. Right now it's at the default location, but I'm going to click there, click that down arrow, and choose center screen. Notice now when I run it how it changes. I like that. Again, you may like that, you may not, you may agree with the way I'm doing this, you may not. Either way, it's really and truly not that important. All right? And I always tell my students too, like when you look at this, notice I've got a little less blank space here as opposed to here, and a little less blank space here as opposed to here. I can move and be real anal and get all that stuff really lined up, but it's not that necessary. The form looks fine. Well, we'll talk about in later chapters. For example, I can click on here, on a blank spot on the form, go over to where it says back color. Click on there, click on here, choose custom, and if I want it yellow. It's pretty obvious what I've done. You're going to learn to do all this stuff as we go on in here. All right? Okay. And again, there are a lot of properties. Many controls have up close to 100 properties. Here's some more. All right. How to adjust the tab order. Well, let's do that first. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to go back to my program, and I'm going to run it, and I'm going to start hitting the tab key. Okay, so notice right here, that's the first one. If I hit tab again, it goes to here. If I hit it again, it goes to here. If I hit it again, it goes to here. Again, it goes to here, and again, it goes to there. Then it goes back up to here. Labels cannot be tabbed to. But these three fields are read-only. What I want is when my program starts, I want my cursor to be in here. But when I hit tab, I want it to go here. If I hit tab again, I want it to go there. That's all I care about. How do I do that? Well, I can go ahead and click right here and then choose View. Go down almost to the bottom, about 3/4 of the way down, and find tab order. Notice we get a number here. I want that to be 0, which means it goes first, then 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right? The only ones I care about are 0, 1, and 2. But I did all of them anyway. Now, to make those numbers go away again, View, tab order. Now I've reset my tab order, and I just showed you how to do that. All right? So let's keep onward and upward in here. So I just showed you how to do that. Access keys. All right? A little bit of an advanced topic, but you actually know what they are. What do I mean? Well, the way that Microsoft works, let's go back into here. And notice if I click File, and I want to go to Exit. I'm looking for one that has one on it. None of them do here. It used to be with Microsoft, when you'd go down to Exit, that X would always have a little underscore underneath it, which meant that you could do an Alt-X. All an access key is it's a way of completing an operation a little faster. Is it important? That's something for you to figure out. All right, I don't think so anymore. Tab order I showed you. So I've already shown you read-only. I've shown you how to set the tab index. And I have shown you text align. So you've already seen a couple of these. All right. How to set the enter and the escape keys. Well, what I want to have happen in my program is when I hit the enter key, I want that code that's in here to fire. So the code that is in my calculate button, I want that code to fire when I hit enter. When I hit the escape key, I want that code to fire. How do I do that? Well, I click on a blank spot in the form. This is called my accept button. That is, when I hit enter, it's what I want to be accepted. This will be used for my cancel button. In other words, when I hit escape. So I click on a blank spot in the form. I find where it says accept button. It's all alphabetized here. There's accept button. Now it says none. I click the down arrow and I choose button calculate. This is called cancel button. So I go down, find cancel button, and set that to button exit. So now I've shown you how you can go in and you can set the enter and the escape keys. Is that big a thing? No, but it's a nicety. You want to make this as nice as possible for the person running your program. So I called mine. In fact, for the form, I already showed you the text property. We set that. I set the accept. I set the cancel. I did all these. I set the start position. So you've done all of these already if you've been following along with me. Label 1. That ampersand is what we can use for the shortcut key. Okay, I'm just leaving it alone. They used middle left on all these. I used right left. Other than that, it's the same stuff. The last thing that's in here is they talk about, it says the Solution Explorer as a form file is being renamed. I'm not going to rename it, but if I wanted to, I could go over to the name of my form, which is Form 1 here, and I could, in fact, we can rename it. Notice it says Form 1. All right, but we could rename it. I can either click on here and then click again and rename it, or I can click on here, right mouse click, and choose rename, and change that to Form Invoice Total. Now it's been renamed, and you notice all the files underneath it have been renamed as well. All right. You can do the same thing with a project name, you can rename it, and with a solution name, you can rename that. How to save this? That's kind of an important concept. You should get used to saving often. The easiest way to save is to either click File and then Save All, or click this double disk icon. Okay, now again, I can run the program. I can enter stuff in here. I can hit buttons, but nothing is happening right now because as of right now, I haven't added any code to make anything happen. All right? In the next chapter, we'll start to get into that. And as you notice, it's called How to Code and Test a Windows Form Application. So we'll come in and write the code to make the magic happen in here. And we'll do that in the next lecture.